everyone. I am Robin. As you heard Matt say, we will have classes in Milwaukee and in Appleton every day starting tomorrow. So that's exciting. There's 9 a.m.s, 5:30 p.m.s. There's yoga with weights and lay around yoga. So I brought my daughter so I have someone to talk to and see, because this whole thing is interesting to me. And she had just gotten up from a nap when I woke her up to come, so she's super excited. In the last video we filmed, she fell asleep. So if she's doing not the right thing, just keep doing whatever I say. I wanted to start out with a thanking you all for coming and supporting the studio, and I'm just happy to be back talking to people real life, so that's exciting. Start with the cross-leg position. I have a daughter who's a nurse at Mayo in Rochester, and she stresses, as we all do, and this is just a time of life right now with this stay-at-home order that we might be more ungrounded than we normally are. So what I wanted to talk through is just a little easy grounding activity that you can do standing up at work, you can do sitting down, you can do laying down in your bed. But right now I'm going to have you sit cross-legged if that's where you are. Spine's nice and tall, relaxing shoulders. And all yoga breath is in the nose and out of the nose. So that is one great way to get grounded, is to feel the earth under you and breathe. Deep breaths. Jaw relaxed, your face is soft. So starting your day like this, a couple minutes in the morning, just sets you off in a way that is not on your phones, into the stress. So it's a nice way to start and end every day. The little meditation we're going to do, and we're not even going to do it long, but I just wanted to teach it to you, is Kirtan Kriya, which is sa, thumb to pointer finger, ta, thumb to middle finger, na is the next finger, and ma. So it's sa, ta, na, ma. Something you don't have to say out loud. If you want, you can. Those are seed sounds, so those vibrations are helpful for the body, for grounding and calming. In your head is fine as well. So that's something you can easily just go between fingers, saying it or not saying it. Sometimes when we're in poses here for a little longer than maybe you like, that can be a helpful way to kind of bring you back to here, to what's real, to all that good stuff. So sa, ta, na, ma. Gabby Bernstein just did a video that had 5 ways or 7 ways to calm down, and she taught the same thing, but she put words to it, and my daughter liked the words. And so what the words were was, peace begins with me. So if that resonates with you more than seed sounds, so sa, ta, na, ma. Peace begins with me. Perfect. So that's just a great thing to do whenever you don't obviously need to be warmed up. According to Ayurveda, which is the sister science to yoga, we're coming into kapha season, or we're in kapha season, which is more heavy, wet, moist, dense, which makes sense for the weather. But what's interesting is with all of the screen time that we're doing, like my husband teaches at Nina High School, some days he's on the computer just a lot of hours. So there's many of us who are now on the screens more than we ever used to be. So screens increase vata, which is more of a winter kind of element, the more dry, airy, flighty. And so just being grounded, nourishing oils, taking baths, just doing whatever you need to kind of bring it back to okay. Let's find our way onto our backs. Take up a little bit of space, spread out, palms up. Helps the fronts of the shoulders to roll open a little. Having some sweet space between shoulders and ears. Your legs have a little space. If lying on your back hurts your low back, you can always bend the knees and tent them to the center so that can take the edge off. You can put pillows under your knees or blocks under your knees. You could start seated on your side, on your belly. So yoga is for everybody, and you do or don't do according to what your body needs. So that's awesome. So let's start with one big, actually we'll do a bunch of them, but we'll start with a big breath in the nose. And then out the mouth, sigh. Breath in the nose. Make some noise. Breath in. Maybe stick your tongue out. Nice. So this might be the place where it's best for you to lay the entire hour, and that's great. What do you need? Do that. Eyes closed when you are able, when you need. Fingers and toes easy. Yoga breath pretty constantly. You might be using more tools than you normally use, just feeling a little maybe ungrounded. I know in one day I can be crying and laughing, angry, all the things. So don't expect to or need to feel anything special. Just kind of go with the flow, bob and weave. Keep coming back to that breath. The earth supporting you, noticing the space between your body and the mat. Not everything touches the floor. There's space maybe behind ankles, behind knees, low back, your neck. And we're all put together different, so we're all going to look a little different. At any point, come back to this pose. It's a great one, or make it your own. Bring soles of the feet together. Let the knees relax open like a butterfly. So this might be a place where, for me, I put blocks under my knees. You might use books. You might use couch cushions, whatever you have around. Arms could stay right where they're at. It's a great one. You could grab opposite wrist to the floor behind your head, opening up the shoulders. Maybe prayer hands to your forehead. That little weight can be grounding. Maybe a hand to the heart, hand to the abdomen. So go through some of those and decide where you want to stay for now, and know that you can change your mind. You can quit the pose. You can do the poses you like. My phone told me that my screen time was down last week, and I'm not really sure how that happened, but sometimes when we're on our screens a lot, we're seeing that everybody's doing all the things, cleaning their houses, starting new degrees. It's okay if you're not doing that. It's okay if you're not doing anything. It's okay if you're surviving. So just know that whatever you're feeling, it's good. Whatever you're doing, it is good. Perfectionism can halt us in our tracks. It can cause anxiety. And equally, second guessing yourself does all of those same things. So just ride strong and do what you're doing. Shoulders, jaw, breath. Your teeth never have to touch unless you're chewing, so check in. Even your lips might be touching, but they're not pursed. Your forehead's soft. Your fingers and toes are easy. Breath above everything. Any of these poses can be done at any time. So some of you might be here because you love this style of practice. Some of you might be here because this is the only live stream that's happening today and you like to move. And so know that it's okay to not like this practice. It's okay to not like holding poses. Do what you can. One breath rolls right into the next. We'll go one more minute here, unless you're loving it, and then stay. I've been walking a lot with my 7-month-old French Bulldog puppy Shocks. And so pretty much anytime I'm sad or bored or crabby, we hit the road and hit the park and walk around. So this type of yoga, any yoga, complements walking, complements weightlifting, complements professional gaming. You sit in a desk all day. But just know you can drop to the floor, pick a pose, 1 pose, 2 pose, 3 poses. You don't need a mat, you don't need special clothes, just do it. All right, bring knees together. Hands might help them get there. Take the feet wide, outside edges of the mat. And now drop one knee at a time to the center. Just a little opposite windshield wiper. Should feel nice. If not nice, it feels different. That external rotation, for some, they could sleep there. For me, it's a torture pose and I support it, but it's all good. Just moving. We all have kind of a rhythm that we move more naturally to. Some of us are fast or slow. And then let both knees drop to the right and keep them there. So both knees drop to one direction. This might be enough for you. If you want more, you could take that right ankle and set it up on top of that outer left thigh. There is weight on that left knee, so if it feels wrong, don't do it. What could be helpful is a block supported under either knee, both knees. Nothing we do here should hurt us. So if you do something and it's uncomfortable, maybe you stay. If you have pain, don't stay. Come on out. And it's just your body's way of saying not now. So this gives us a nice outer hip side stretch. Big deep breath. So on the in breath, your side ribs expand. On your out breath, just get a little heavier. One breath into the next. If you start thinking about something, come back to your physical body, come back to the sound of the breath, come back to Sata, Nama, come back to anything. And then take the feet wide again, swishing back and forth, little alternate windshield wiper. After a couple swishes, stop going left. Different side might require completely different measures. So maybe both feet stay on the floor. Maybe left ankle sets up on top of the outer right thigh. Where you can breathe is usually a great place to stay. Shoulders, jaw, breath. When in doubt, check there. And then swishing back and forth one more time. Finding your way to happy baby. Knees draw back towards your arms. Heels draw back. They stack above the knees. You could grab your feet, outside edge, inside edge, big toes. You could grab ankles or thighs. So grabbing wherever a lot of your back is into the earth. You don't feel like a slingshot. Our breath is really our first line of defense. So when we notice that we're holding our breath, sometimes we just forget, start again. If we're ever working so hard that we're holding our breath, change the pose. Breath rules always. Your face tells us what's going on, right? So if your face is squunched up, maybe it's too much. Your intuition, your gut is never wrong. Maybe a little rock right to left if that feels good. This is definitely a pose that starts fun and then turns a little ick. So knowing that there's always that broad range of normal, you might feel so much you're not sure if you're okay, and you might feel nothing and you're not sure you're even doing it right, or any place in the middle. Awesome. Release your feet, hug your shins into your chest, and give a little rock right to left. You're massaging your low back out. And then hug behind your thighs. Give a couple rocks front to back. And then rock it up to seated. Legs cross. Spine tall. Bring hands to your knees. Come forward and then do some big circles one direction. From your hips, your shoulders and head might come in. You can close your eyes. Our nervous system likes kind of rhythmic movements. Your head could come in as well if you feel like that's good. Switching the directions. So I'm sitting on a cushion. You could prop under knees. You could have legs straight. So not everybody can sit comfortably, legs crossed. And often if your hips are higher than your knees, it's a little more helpful. And then coming back up to tall. Some cat-cow seated on the in-breath, heart forward, look up, in-breath. On your out-breath, chin down, tailbone down, spine rounds back. So in-breath, looking up, out-breath, looking down. Just moving your back. You could also open up the arms on the in-breath and then bring the tops of the hands together on the out-breath. So we're just waking up spine, front to back. In-breath, laying the heart open. Out-breath, rounding. And then back up to tall. Let's take right hand to left knee, left fingertips to the floor behind. Nice and tall on the in-breath. And then ease the twist open. So your shoulder eases back, your gaze follows. Everything stops where it should. So we're not forcing anything. Breath. Spine length, in breath. Out breath. Settle. You might have had to recross the legs a couple times, completely normal. So coming back to center. And then other directions. So right fingertips to the floor behind. Left hand to your knee, tall, and then ease. So we're never forcing. The ungrounding that a lot of us feel when maybe we don't have our routines, a routine of getting to bed maybe at 10 when the sun goes down, waking up more consistently, maybe some consistent meals or consistent exercise times. Anything you can do to kind of get some routine, to get some bones and structure to your day is helpful. Back to center. Let's take left leg long on the floor, straight out to the front, right foot is into that thigh. You might prop a block under right knee or left knee. That left leg never has to be straight. So upper body's going to twist a bit so your breastbone's over your thigh bone, lengthen and fold. So this whole action starts at your hips, pelvis spills forward. You could decide if upper back stays tall or if you want to surrender abdomen, heart, head. Foot a little flex. You'll feel this on your hamstring of that left leg, your low back, maybe your right side body. Again, discomfort, you dance around with it, decide if it should stay or go. Pain, not now. So a lot of the practice for me is discerning discomfort from pain, because it's so easy to say like, oh, that hurts. Where, oh, that hurts might just be, it's uncomfortable and I really don't like it. And so often the way to get there is through. And that's been the other thing that's been probably hard for me and a lot of us, is we have a lot of free time on our hands. We're sitting with a lot of emotions. And then upper body lifts. Extend right leg long, give it a little shake out. And then left foot comes in, knee relaxes open, twisting slightly to the right, so chest over thigh and then fold. Again, that leg never has to be straight. The great thing about yoga is once you feel it, you know you're there, and then just stay. And you're there might be this. Stay. Yoga's not a destination. It's not like you get your black belt and you finish. Breath. Breath is an anchor to here, to now. So as we sit with uncertainty, with maybe some darkness, with maybe some, I don't like this, give yourself some grace, give yourself some space, and actually sit there. It's kind of like shadow boxing. I know for me, food is an easy checkout place that when I don't want to feel, that's where I go. Or maybe I want to sleep. We all have our thing. Upper body lifts. Extend both legs long. Give a shake out. So flex your feet, start with the bend of the knees, move skin out of the way out back so you're firmly planted. Belly to thighs, inhale, lengthen and fold. So you might grab your flexed feet, you might grab ankles, you might hug under your legs, you might use a strap. There's no right way. Here again, we're feeling it, backs of the legs, low back, upper body can stay tall. Or let it surrender. Soft hands. Lengthening in breath. Lengthening out breath. Anytime you need, if you need to skip the pose, if you need to come out of it, pretend you just are done with me and turn off your Zoom and it's okay. This is a time of truly slowing it down and honoring your body's wisdom. Does it need to cry? Does it need to get outside? Do you need to scream a little bit? Go in the basement, scream. All right, upper body lifts. Let's come into deer pose. So sitting down, front edge of the mat, your right shin is parallel with the front of the mat, your right thigh is parallel with the side of the mat, your left leg goes out. It might be straight out. For me, it's pretty close to my heel. Ideally sitting in both sits bones. You might not get both sits bones down. For me, to get that left sit bone down a little bit, my right knee comes up. You're not forcing anything, shoulders above hips. If you feel knee pain, do not do it. Probably even discomfort, step back. You want to be so careful of joints of knees. A lot of us will feel this in that back leg hip flexor. You might feel it someplace else. Where do you feel it? Yeah, you might not feel it at all. Who cares? So you can stay right here tall, breathing, soft hands. You could do a yoga mudra, forefinger to thumb. You could touch fingers alternately, like whatever. So if this is not serving you, you could come forward a little bit, see if that helps. You could come back a little bit. So stay where you get a little bit of feel. Maybe it's a lot of feel. Ideally, no pain. Which is funny because we're rewiring all of the push it till it pops, no pain, no gain, just do it or don't do it. So this is that safe space where you maybe decide if what you've been doing for months, days, decades is what you should be doing or what you want to be doing. If it's not, pivot. If it's not, change it. All right, so from here, bring that left leg back behind you. So coming into pigeon. Coming into pigeon. Your right thigh parallel with the side. Shin does not have to be parallel with the front. If you always have heel in, you could bring your heel forward more, right angle, and see what you feel. See what you like. You could stay tall, a bit of a back bend, surrendering down to forearms, but relax shoulders, soft hands, soft jaw, blocks under head, block under right hip. So that right hip might be on the floor, on a block, floating, a sweatshirt under there. Left leg lengthens back. Most of us will feel this in that outer right kind of hip butt, piriformis. Breathing in and out. Breath in and out. As you sit in this, the The pose often shifts, so sometimes it softens. You can go more. You might go less, or you might have to come out. So all of that is completely normal. If you want a little bit more, upper body could lift. You could bend that left knee and reach back and try left hand to left foot as you bend the knee. Is that okay? Yeah. So that's what it is if you want to go. If you don't do it. It brings in that back quad and hip flexor, and if that's too much, do not do it. So nothing has to happen. Yeah, you just say, I just wanted to see it. One breath at a time. All right, now setting back down to that right hip, bringing that left leg forward again. Both legs long out the front, give a little shake out. And then let's set the other leg up. So now left leg is a right angle, right knee off to the side, starting with deer pose. Again, block under left knee. I was a dummy for a lot of my first bunch of years of taking yoga, thinking that using props was a sign of weakness, and now I use all the props. So how can I be more comfortable? How can I breathe more deeply? That's the key to the practice. So keep coming back to those questions. Not am I doing it right? Not is this good? Truly roll your mat out. You've arrived. You've done it. It's good. Shoulders. Noticing the difference between the two sides. You might always have one side that's a little more interesting. If you have a side with an injury, you might completely skip one side for a good while. Breath. Soft face. Maybe think back to New Year's, when you were full of hope and full of dreams and maybe full of goals. Things have changed. Things have changed radically. Maybe some of the things still fit for you. Maybe other things don't. Course correct. Pivot. It doesn't matter. The only thing constant is change. And this too shall pass. And maybe because of this, we drop some things, we add some things. There's no right answers. Pigeon, extend that right leg long behind you. That left heel could be up pretty straight, different feel. And when you set that front shin to parallel, your back leg is going to look probably ridiculously different. Who cares? You might bring that heel in tight to your body. That front foot has a little flex. That back leg lengthens. Hang out. How am I doing? How can I choose peace? Or when I lose my shit, when I go off the rails, how do I bring it back? Bring it back over and over. We are not perfect. We have families where people are working all day and then homeschooling their kids and trying to do all of it. It's okay, do your best. I kind of even hate that too. Maybe just survive. But your best is enough. Whatever's happening is enough. Breathe in grace, breathe in love, breathe in everything that you need. And then those exhales, let it go. Let go of shame, let go of guilt, let go of anger, let go of anything that is weighing you down. Oh man, speaking of weighing you down, did you see that little dog on the internet who was hooked to a lot of helium balloons and he's up in the air? Oh boy. So try to have that lightness. Yeah, I like it. Oh, it's an itch. Or you could bend the knee and grab that foot. Or you could itch. Aren't you glad you came? I'm sure at Christmas, this sweet little freshman in college never thought she'd be home quarantining, doing online school, and then being mom's yoga model. You can let go. One more itch. Just like we never would have seen this coming, or maybe some did, but I didn't. Your goals, your hopes, your dreams, if you don't have a picture of that, it's not going to happen. It's like these people who invent super cool things. You have to visualize it for it to even happen. Not everything goes well, not everything goes easy. If you want it bad enough, just put your head down and keep doing it. I can't think of the author right now, but what is it, 10,000 times to do something well? That's a lot of times. So if you're showing up, doing something for the first time, grace. I know a lot of you, I'm just amazed at our students, all of the skills they have. You might have some skills that you know 99% more than the world. Share those skills. You don't need to be perfect before you do it. Don't let that perfection slow you down. Don't want a new job and then 5 years from now still want the same job. Go do it. Start it. All right, upper body lifts. Bring that back leg around, shaking it out. Give it a good shake. So now take soles of the feet together. Let the knees relax open, but have pretty good space between heels and body, and then surrender forward. So it's a forward fold with a lot less hamstring. Pelvis spills forward. That gives some nice low back length. Blocks under knees, books under knees. Low back length. Upper body can stay tall or let it round. Breathe. That breath creates space physically in our bodies, in our cells. This practice creates space, mental space. I was walking my dog yesterday with my husband because he usually doesn't go with me. And we saw some people kind of far off, and I was waving, and he's like, do you know them? And I'm like, no. So wave at the neighbors, because why not? Danita commented recently about wearing a mask and how she likes to smile. But then someone came back and talked about the eyes. Our eyes are so expressive. So even if your face is in a mask, you've got those sweet sparkly eyes. Upper body lifts. Undo the legs and let's come on, come on to your front. Take that right arm out to a T, so straight out, palm down. Left hand, yeah, that's good. Right hand out. Left hand on your left shoulder, and then roll yourself over. So we're stretching that right shoulder. It's essentially a wall stretch with some body weight. So you stop when your body stops you. Your head can be on the floor, on a block, on a pillow. That left knee could bend like she's doing. Just right. More is not always better. More can injure, more can exhaust, and too little. Oh, too little. It's easy to play small, it's easy to play safe. When we do that, we miss out on an opportunity to struggle, an opportunity to hate it, an opportunity to rock it. Like, who knows? Who knows? A little sensation, hang out, shoulders, right? Oof. We carry the weight of the world. I'll be here every Sunday night, so if you like this, come back. If you hate this, come back. Maybe it's what you need. Maybe do some of these poses in front of the TV. And then slowly retrace your steps, come back to your front body. Let it settle. So we might know when we're in. Sometimes we figure it out when we come out. Sometimes it's tonight and tomorrow we're like, whoa. And then the other side. So left arm comes out, right hand presses in, roll yourself over, and see what this side brings. As I pulled my shirt down, I realized I'm wearing a Blue Moon Rooted Yoga, a rooted shirt. Rooted. The chakra, the first three chakras, the root chakra, they're all about grounding, about safety. Just being on the floor is grounding. When it gets nice off, take your shoes off, walk on the earth. I wore my Mr. Rogers sweater. I wore my Benny little bun. So do those little things that bring you joy. Man, for a lot of us, bras are optional, showers are optional. Don't worry about it. Breath. Send your breath where it feels tight. It's like sending a prayer. might not be sure it gets there, but you kind of know it will. And then slowly back to your front body. Let's give a little superwoman. So reach the arms behind you long, palms down. Lift your heart up. Shoulders releasing. You could interlace hands behind you. You could take long arms off your bum. You might feel better if you just keep space between the hands, or maybe use a strap or a tie. Again, who cares? It's not right, it's not wrong. Do you like what it feels like? Resting it down. Awesome. Come up, we'll do one more shoulder stretch. So come up a bit, and then like a pretzel, take your right arm under you to the left, like lay down, yep, and then your left arm under you to the right, yeah. And then work your fingers wide within reason, and then drop your head. So you kind of have to decide if you like where you're at, if you're feeling something great. You could always move your physical body forward or back so your shoulders are in front of elbows, on top of, behind. This one you get a little more outer shoulder stretch. Just like tight hips can pull the knees, tight shoulders can pull elbows, can pull neck, so go slowly. Again, your breath. If you're breathing, probably good. If your face is soft, probably good. If your gut says you're okay to stay, probably good. Have you done this one? You like it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It looks super cool from the front, if you were curious. All right, switching the arms. So whatever arm's in closer, switch it up. And then see what this side brings. We have a good side and a great side. So our words are so powerful. The other morning, my kids were sleeping. I don't even know, nobody was really around, and I started to think something badly, and then I switched it. Not that it always has to be switched, but some days you have to kind of talk yourself into something different. It's okay to be sad. But our words are powerful. So if you're always saying certain words and they kind of, and the first thing is to notice. So I noticed instantly I didn't like what I was saying, and then change it. Course correct. I read once that like a rocket to the moon is off course most of the time. And so it's going and it just keeps coming back. When I read things, I don't even know where they come from because I read like Us magazine and but it's never too late to start again. All right, coming on out. Let's do another superwoman, reaching back. Man, I'm teaching this like it's a 75-minute or a 90-minute, huh? All right, and then coming on down. Flip it onto your back, just like a pancake, just flip, flip. You can even stay wherever, you can move around. Let's go back bend, just a quick bridge. Legs up, feet are under your knees, hips lift. Hips and back bends are like peanut butter and jelly or Nutella and jelly or whatever your two things you like to put together. They go together well. Tailbones point forward, it's a back bend. It's a front body stretch. And then rest it down, nice. Let's go legs up as an inversion. It's the most gentle inversion. You could put a block flat widthwise under your hips. Legs might not go straight, legs might shake. Shoulder stand plow is where you pop your hips up. Shoulder stand is heels above, hips above shoulders-ish. You might look like a hockey stick. Plow is where you hinge at the hips and feet come to the floor. They might not touch. You might take the feet wide. See a little bit of a sunroof. Sometimes when I'm in that pose, like everything's just squunched up and there's no space. You might bend the knees and take them to your ears, take them to your forehead. Where you can breathe is where you stay. Sometimes we think legs up isn't enough. It's perfect. Legs up with your bum at the baseboard and legs up the wall. Man, there's nothing better than that. It's restorative. The wall is holding you up. It's a hamstring stretch. Whatever you're doing is enough. Like I said, if you're surviving, that's enough. If you're thriving, great. Maybe you're pinging all around, great. Slowly come on down. So I guess we didn't need the blocks. I mean, supported fish isn't happening. Let's take the knees into the chest. We'll supine twist to both sides and rest. So knees go to the left, arms out to a T. A block between your knees is the most gentle. A block under your knees stops you from going too far. You could cross at the knees, twisted root, top over bottom. You could straighten legs and do anything. Breath in, spine lengthen space. Breath out, surrender. A lot of these poses can be done in your bed. At bedtime, in the morning, pigeon on your back, the twist. Coming back to center with the knees gently. Readjust the hips if they travel and try on the other side. The other side might be more, might be less. Maybe skip it. There's so many maybes. And often we want to know, like, tell me how to do it. No, you know how to do it. I don't know what you need. I hardly know what I need. In and out of the nose. That breath that calms the mind, calms the body, calms the nervous system. It is a tool that we have with us always when we're driving, when we're working, when we're freaking out. And then gently back to center. Readjust the hips. Take your legs up to the sky and give a shake. Take your arms up to the sky and shake. Like shake like you're a little cookie. Like shake. Yeah, there you go. And then finding your way to your rest pose. Traditional Shavasana on the back where we started. She's going to on the front, like you're lying on the beach, on your side, on your belly, seated. Letting everything we did settle. Maybe you start with a couple deep breaths and then fall into just a natural breath. Your body breathes you. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. Wiggling your fingers and toes, maybe some rotations. Knees drawing into your center and then finding your way slowly to the left side. So you're lying on your left side, maybe forearm under your head. A little more awareness to your physical body. Finding your way up to seated, legs crossed, maybe opposite leg is normal on top, spine's tall, hands at your heart center. Take a deep breath in and out. Breath in and out. Breath in and out. Thumb knuckles up to your forehead. Inhale. Exhale. Bow your head forward. Namaste. Satnam. Thank you so much, Matt and Susie and Power. All of you for coming. I miss you. I miss you so much. Yeah, thanks for coming. Tomorrow's next class, so tune in.